So we are still in the chapter about repetition. And what we are going to learn next is about the nested loop. The nested loop that we learned before you already learned how to make this kind of number. So how we count based on this result, and then we prepare the formula. And you already know how, if we want to print this result as well, last time we have one problem, how to make these complex lines. We want to use the nested for loops, and we want to produce this result. How can we produce this result? Yeah, we already learned about the outer loop and the inner loop. The outer loop, we can see that they have 5 lines or 5 times. Then we can just prepare from line 1 until line 5. Now we need to check the contents. What is the content here? For every line, we have dots. Okay, so dots is 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 dots in the line number 1. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 dots in the line number 2, and so on. Now, there is a pattern here. 4 dots, 3 dots, 2 dots, 1 dot. If it is in the line number 1, then we need to have 4 dots. If it is in the line number 2, we have 3 dots. So if we take a look on that problems, we can have like this one. In the line number 1, we have 4 dots. In the line number 2, we have 3. In the line number 3, we have 2. We have 1 in the line 4, and we have 0 in the line 5. Then how can we make the formula? So it is the same like what we already learned before, because it is decreasing. So we just do the multiplication minus 1. Multiply by line. We have the line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for easy understanding here, we just do the addition with 4. Sorry, addition with 5. So we can get the minus 1 plus 5, it becomes 4. Minus 2 plus 5, it becomes 3. Oh. Yes, with me. Any questions? Oh. Any questions? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, feel free. If you have any questions during my presentation, you can raise your hand. Okay. So this formula will be good for this result. Therefore, we use this formula for our for loop. Whenever we have the dots, we want to print according to this formula. How we can use the for loop to print the dots? We can just print the dots like this one. If we have 4 dots, then we will print from j equals to 1 until j is more than 4. If j equals to 1 and we have the condition j less than equal to 4, then there will be 4 dots. If we include this formula, then we can change only the formula here. So the number of dots will not be from 1 until 4, but we change this 4 with this formula. This formula is the formula that we got from this result. -1 multiplied by line plus 5. So we just put the formula here and print the dot. So every line, the number of dots will be according to this number. So we have 4 if the line is 1. We have 3 if the line is 2. We have 2 if the line is 3. We have 1 if the line is 4. And we have 0 if the line is 5. So you can try. Yeah, last week we already learned this. And the result is like this one. Okay. I may give you questions like this in the mid-exam. Okay. I give you the for loop. What will be the result? If you check this one, this is the outer loop. And then for the inner loop, oh, we have 2 loops. Okay, so now the nested loops become more complicated. The first is about printing dot. And the second is about printing line. So it means printing the number. How can we get this one? So when we have the line equals to 1, it will go to j equals to 1 until j is 5 minus line. 5 minus line means it will be until 4 if line equals to 1. So there will be 4 dots. And then we have 1 until line. Then we will print only the number of the line. After we finish this, we will go back to the for loop, the initial for loop. Now it becomes 2. When it becomes 2, j will start from 1 and it will go until 5 minus 2. So it will go until 3. Then there will be 3 dots. And we have another loop from 1 until the line. Line is 2. So there will be a number 1, 2, and we want to print the line. Then we will print 2 for 2 times. And so on. And you will see the result is something like this. Okay. You need to understand how the loop works, how the repetition works based on the formula. Now, how if we want to make this one? You can modify the previous code to produce this output. The previous code is from this one. Okay. How can we modify this? After we print the line, we can do some statement. Okay. Because this is the end on the right part. And you need to print something after the number. So printing after the number means you will print after you print the number. So I can just give you the answer. Okay. In the mid exam, I may give you like this problem and then make the Java code. So you need to make this Java code. So the first loop is the same with the previous problem, and we have additional loop, this one. What is this? We have the J, which is from 1 until line -1. And we print the dot, because the result that we want to show is the dot. The only difference is how many dots that we want to print. Okay. If it is line number 1, then we have 0 dot. If it is line number 2, we have 1 dot. If it is line number 3, we have 2 dots. If it is line number 4, then we have 3 dots, and so on. Then we can get like this formula. Now, there is another problem. Write a program that uses nested for loops to print a multiplication table. Do you know multiplication table? You can make 1 and 1, 2, 3. So 1 multiplied by 1, the result is 1. 1 multiplied by 2, the result is 2. 1 multiplied by 3, the result is 3. 2 multiplied by 1, 2. 2 multiplied by 2, 4. 2 multiplied by 3, 6. 3 multiplied by 1, 3. 3 multiplied by 2, 6. 3 multiplied by 3, 9. Okay, so this is the multiplication table. How can we do it in Java? You can go to the example. So this example, it shows about the multiplication table. If you check on this part, you have for loop. We want to print from 1 until 9. So here we print. So you can check this one. There is no curly bracket. Okay, I don't put this one. So if your statement is only 1, when you do the statement after the loop, then you don't need to have the curly bracket. You can use this curly bracket if your statement is more than 1 line. So I can just put here. The statement is only 1 line. Then you don't need the curly bracket. But if you ask me, Professor, can I use the curly bracket? Yes, of course. Okay. Of course you can. But some people, they think that making the curly bracket will increase the number of your code. So that's why they remove this one. then it is also fine. But if your statement is more than one line, then please use the curly bracket. Now, in this statement, we are going to print from 1 until 9. And we print the line. Okay. And we want to print the table body. We have 1 until 9. And at first time, before we do the multiplication, we print the number 1. And then we want to have the multiplication, which is I multiplied by j. Now you can see here, 4 in percent. What does it mean? We use printf. Okay. We use printf, this one, and we have 4. So this is the result. Four means we have 4 space. Now let's see if I change this one into 3. What happens? Then it becomes narrow. If you put this one 6, it becomes wider. Okay, it means this number represents how many space do you need after the last number. If we have 4, it means after the last number here, after here, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will print the next number in the next 4 spaces. That's why you can see this result is more tidy. That's the meaning by %4. D is the symbol for integer. D just represent integer. Sometimes people use I. Yeah. In our case, people use D. So we can use either I or D. So if you want to use this I, yes. The I sometimes it doesn't work if you have a variable I. So that's why people always use D to represent this one. Because now in this example I use I, it will conflict with the I. So let's just use D. And yeah, you can use D as well for other purpose. So this is the multiplication table. Now we are going to learn about some conditional alternatives. When we have the condition and we want to combine with the repetition, there are some other statements that we can learn. The first is break statement. A break statement can be used to end a loop immediately. So to end means to terminate, to stop. And the break statement ends only in the innermost loop or switch statement that contains the break statement. I think you remember switch. In the switch statement, we have break. So if we have break, then we will not continue to the next statement. We can use this break also in the loops. Break statements make loops more difficult to understand. So use break statements sparingly. So try to limit the number of break statements if you want to use it. But if you need to use it, then you can use it. There is another statement which is continue. In the continue statement, it ends the current loop iteration and it begins the next one. Text recommends avoiding use because it introduces unneeded complications. So let's see the example. I give two examples, test break and test continue in your Java. So I have a numbers integer sum equals to 0 and number equals to 0. If number is less than 20, so if it is true, then number will be added by 1. And then sum will be added by the number. Okay, so in this case, sum equals to sum plus number. Okay. And then we will keep looping. If the sum is greater than equal to 100, break. So stop. So whenever this one is still not until 20, but if the sum has been greater than 100, it will stop. So if I run this, what you can get is the number is 14, but the summation already more than 100. Okay? The sum is already more than 100, but the number is still 14. Actually, 15. Is it true? 15 less than 20? Yes. So actually it is still a loop because the sum has been more than 100. The break statement terminates the loop. The break statement stops the loop. Okay. Now let's check the other example. Test continue. In this test continue, we have again sum equals to 0 and number equals to 0. And then I would like to check if the number is less than 20, let's add by 1. Now, I would like to check if the number equals to 10 and if the number equals to 11, what does it mean? Two line verticals, what does it mean? This symbol. This is operator OR. Okay. What about if it is operator AND? This is the operator AND. Okay, please don't forget. This is the operator OR. Okay. So if the number is 10 or the number is 11, continue. So we don't calculate 10 and 11 for this summation. Here we want to do the summation. Sum equals to sum plus number. So if the number equals to 10 and if the number equals to 11, then we will skip. Yeah, you can check the number if you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then without 10, without 11, and then plus 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, until 20. If you want to make it smaller, you can have 5, and then let's say you want to skip 2, and you want to skip 3. The sum is 10. So it means 1 plus 4 and then plus 5. 1 plus 4 plus 5, it is 10. We skip the number 2 and number 3. So we have the continue. It means we will not include 2 and 3 for the next statement. We skip. The continue means we will check again the condition. So it means like this. When number 0 is less than 5, we enter this one. So number becomes 1. Number is 2 or number is 3? No. Then sum plus equal number. Then sum will be 1. Okay. We go back here. Number is less than 5? Yes. So number will be added by 1. It becomes 2. 2, a number equals to 2 or number equals to 3? Yes. Continue. So we go back here. Number is less than 5? Yes. We will do the addition. 2 plus 1 means 3. Number is 2 or number is 3? Yes. Continue. Because we do continue, we go back here. Now we add again, plus plus, so becomes 4. Number is 2 or number is 3? No. We will do the summation. Now 1 plus 4, it becomes 5. And then go back here. 4 is less than 5? Yes. So it will be added by 1, it becomes 5. Number equals to 2 or number equals to 5? No. Then sum plus equal number. Then 5 plus 5, it becomes 10. And we go back here. 5 is less than 5? No. Then stop. We will go to the statement. Okay. So the simple thing is like this one. Okay. Maybe let's just make an example. Okay, I will use this place. I will have this loop. index start from 1 until 5. If index equal to 3, break. If not equal to 3, print. Okay. What will you get? When the index equals to 1, if we go here, index equal to 3, no. Then we will print. And it goes back here by adding plus plus, by adding by 1. And then I becomes 2. 2 equals to 3, no. Then again we print it. And then we will add by 1. So now index becomes 3. 3 equals to 3, yes. So print. It means stop. We will not continue the loop. What is the difference with this example? In this example, I would like to change the break. I would like to change the break with continue. Okay. What is the difference? We have index equals to 1. Index equal to 1? No. We print. Index is 1. Then I will be added by 1. Index equals to 2. So 2 equals to 3? No. Then you print the index. And then index will be added by 1. Now index becomes 3. 3 equals to 3? Yes. Because it is yes, now you go to continue. The meaning by continue is you go back to the for loop and add index by 1. So now index equals to 4. For, why we need to go to for? Because of this condition. Okay. 3 is still less than equal to 5. So we will add by 1 again because this condition is still true. So when it becomes 4, 4 equal 3? No. Then we will print 4. And then we will add by 1 again. 5. 5 equal to 3? No. And we will print 5. Because 5 already satisfied the condition, then we stop the loop. That's why the result is 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay. That's the difference between continue and break. So let's try with the problem case number, and now I'm going to use break. I think you still remember the math random. And then we have the scanner. Guess the magic number between 0 until 100. Now I put this while with one statement, which is true. If the condition is true, do the loop. But when we stop this loop, we stop this loop when the guess equal to the number. Here we put break. So if the number is equal to the guess, stop the loop. Okay. So this result is the same with any other code that you already saw before. If you have 50, oh, the guess is too high. 35, too low. 40, too high. 38. Yes, the number is 38. Okay, so it stops when the number equals to the guess. We can use break for this purpose. We have another example, cumulative product. You can see the cumulative product. In the cumulative product, we want to multiply numbers. So I want to know the multiplication, 1 multiplied by 2, and then 2 multiplied by 2, 3 multiplied by 2, 4 multiplied by 2, 5 multiplied by 2, and so on. So it means like we have 2 power of something. If we go until 20, it means 2 power by 20. 2 power of by 20, it equals to this number. So if you want to make it smaller, for example, 3, then 2 power of 3 equals to 8. Okay. The product should be started with 1, because any number multiply with 0 equals to 0. So that's why we need to start with 1. Okay, so if we start with 0, then the result will be 0. So we can start with 1 for this purpose. Okay, and yeah, we have some function here. We have math.max. Five, 6. The result is 6. We choose between the two values and we return the maximum. Minimum. We choose the minimum value and we just show the minimum. Square root. We want to get the square root. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 9 is 3. Power. Power 2 power of 3. The result is 8. 2 power of 4. The result is 16. Okay. Absolute. So we want to make it as a negative. Positive. Okay. And then round. We want to make it a bigger number. So round, we want to make the number 3.9 into the nearest integer, which is 4. And floor, we want to go to the nearest number. Floor is the nearest integer number. The nearest integer number is 3. Sorry, this is wrong. And seal, we want to go to the nearest number, which is in the ceiling. Ceiling is in the top. Then the result is 4. Okay. Oh, sorry, I think it's the time.